Everybody, welcome to one more episode of using certain props to enhance our yoga practice. I've covered how to use a strap, how to use blocks, how to use a wall, and how to use a chair to support your yoga practice. And my final little tip that I love to offer in my personal practice, as well as when I'm teaching, whether that's in an assisted living setting or here in my studio, is I use the benefits of essential oils in my practice. And I just want to give you the Reader's Digest version of essential oils, how to use them, how to choose which oils to use for a specific yoga class, or if you're just wanting to enhance your personal practice, kind of just the gist of why would we turn to a certain plant versus another plant. So when we think of essential oils or aromatherapy, the easiest way to think about this is a beautiful tree. Okay, down towards the base of the tree or even inside the roots, we're going to have some aromas that are very grounding. So we're going to talk emotionally, very grounding. So barks, roots like vetiver, the resin families, frankincense, myrrh, is going to be very calming. Things that grow low to the ground, like flowers, lavender, roses, those sort of plants that are closer to the earth are going to give us that soothing, calm kind of thing. We'll talk about why. And then the higher we go up on the tree, the more invigorated we're going to get a response. So lemons, limes, grapefruits, wild oranges, we're going to have an uplifting experience. Now, the reason why aromatherapy can shift our emotions really simply boils down to the brain. Inside of our brain, we have a little thing back there called the amygdala. And the amygdala is responsible for regulating our response to arousal or being calm. It has a lot to do with our emotions and what we do with our emotions, what we're triggered by. And then it is linked to memories. The biggest way that we can enhance or stimulate or invigorate, especially the memories, is through aroma. And if we think about when we have just been in a department store or something, and a woman walks by and we smell a perfume and we are immediately transported to our grandmother, that's because that aroma went into our olfactory system and right into the amygdala that stimulated memories. The same kind of idea comes when we smell baked bread, homemade baked bread, or cookies. We go somewhere else back in our memories of maybe being a child and having chocolate chip cookies, whatever it is, it's stimulating. We know that when we go into nature and we take a walk in a forest and we have the smells of the earth, the wet, damp forest floor, the pine needles, the wildflowers, something happens to our nervous system. And so we can bring that sort of outdoor environment into our yoga practice just simply by breathing in a couple essential oils. I like to have a diffuser. I have two going on in this studio space so that the front and the back of the room, wherever you choose to be, is going to get that aromatic benefit that's being dispersed into the air. Now, I tend to diffuse aromas in my studio, kind of the herb family, the tree family, more grounded, calm, some flowers, especially because I teach in the evening. I don't want to invigorate people. Mints are going to be low to the ground plants, but mints have properties in them that are bright and invigorating. So I tend to not use a lot of mints in an evening class. Now, when we know, if we think about the tree and we know that the lower to the ground is going to be more calming, the higher on the plant or the tree, we're going to be more invigorated. Let's think about the categories of plants, okay? So we have trees. Trees are mostly known to relieve symptoms of uncomfortable aches and pains and to be emotionally grounding. Flowers are going to be soothing for both the emotions and the body. Flowers are soothing. Herbs we use in more of that medicinal way. So like helping our bodies stay healthy. Thyme, clove, cinnamon, ginger, that kind of family is going to be something that we might turn to if we're feeling under the weather. And then emotionally, herbs are very cleansing. So if we have a lot of emotions that we're kind of stuck in the past, or we're having trouble moving forward, herbs can be a great choice. And then citrus essential oils are going to be that clean and bright, purifying and uplifting. So we can take some of the citrus essential oils, and if they are certified pure therapeutic grade, we can put them in our water. We can drink them to bring a cleansing into the body. But mostly, of course, in a yoga class, we're going to be thinking about aromatic benefits. One of the easiest ways to get aromatic benefits is simply to put a couple drops in your hands and take a couple breaths. Now, as a yoga teacher, when I offer essential oils to a student, I always say, would you like to smell this? I put it under their nose first. If then I say, you don't like that one? That's okay. And I go to the next person. People have very strong preferences, and people can be triggered because of the past memories by certain smells. Clove, I have found in my practice, has been the most triggering aroma. So I avoid bringing clove into settings that I go in and teach in the community. There are people that have memories of perhaps people smoking clove cigarettes in their life that weren't a good person. And so that strong, spicy aroma can be off-putting or even triggering. Now, in my studio, I do tend to diffuse clove because it's so earthy and spicy and warm. It's especially great for fall and winter. So you kind of have to know who's in front of you and simply make choices based on that. In the community classes, I tend to stick to very benign, familiar, easy scents like wild orange. It's an uplifting scent, but it also has the ability, if the person who's breathing in wild orange is anxious, they come in and they're dysregulated. Orange is sort of that homeostasis citrus that brings us either down if we're anxious or up if we're not feeling so great. So I love using wild orange, and everybody likes the smell of a peeled orange. Pretty simple. Lavender is another one that I use a lot, especially in the older populations, because it's a familiar scent to them. They might even be reminded of growing lavender in their garden, which is really cool. I also like using trees because trees are just outside smells, and we've all been outside. And I find that when I do pass around a blend that maybe has frankincense, spruce, blue tansy, blue chamomile, it smells like the forest. People just gotta go, oh. So grounding and calming is going to prepare us for a yoga practice. Now, if we come into our space to practice, we have no energy, grab some citrus and mints and you will feel invigorated. The way that I offer it in my studio is I simply pass around the bottle. I suggest taking a couple drops just in your hand and then cupping your hands, rubbing them together, and then just cupping them. There's the forest. And then whatever is left over, I invite people just to put on their neck or their chest, maybe wipe your mustache. You can put it in your hair. You'll smell great for hours. And you get the aromatic benefits of breathing that in throughout your practice, through the olfactory bulb, right into that amygdala back there. And it's responsible for regulating emotions, bringing about memories, and also our state of arousal. So that's the gist. Think of a tree. What kind of mood do you want to create, whether it's in your home, just simply not even having anything to do with yoga? So in the evenings, I tend to pull out my trees, my herbs, things that are calming and grounding. And then in the morning, the first thing I do is pop in my diffuser, something like lemon and peppermint, and get it in there and get me going. So think of your tree. What do you want to create? What kind of mood, what kind of atmosphere, what kind of emotional state do you want your students or yourself to feel? And then offer that essential oil in a diffuser. Ask them if they would like a couple drops on their hands. Offer it in a roller blend that people can swipe. I have a whole bunch of oils over there that my students know that they have access to if they're just feeling a little bit off coming in. You can do it at the beginning of class, the end of class. For your personal practice, I like to begin with sitting quietly, breathing in some trees because I love the sensation of feeling grounded. And then at the end of my practice, as I come back out of the practice, then I bring out the oils again, take a couple breaths, and carry on with my day. So that is how you use essential oils in a yoga class. All right. I'll see you soon. Bye.